Have you ever prayed for something with all your heart, only to watch it fall apart? Have you ever wondered why doors keep closing, even when you're trying your best? What if the disappointment you're crying over today is actually protecting you from a future you cannot see? This is the story of a young man who thought God had forgotten him, but years later, he discovered that every delay, every rejection, and every closed door had been guiding him towards something greater. Stay until the end, because this story might completely change the way you see your own struggles. In a small town lived a young man named Daniel. Daniel had one dream. He wanted a successful life. He worked hard every day. He studied late at night. He sacrificed entertainment, comfort, and sleep. Everyone around him believed he would succeed, and honestly, Daniel believed it too. One day, an opportunity arrived. A large company announced a job opening. It was everything Daniel had hoped for. Good salary, good future, good reputation. He prepared for weeks. He practiced interviews. He reviewed every detail. He prayed every night. God, please let this be my chance. The interview day came. Daniel gave his best performance. When he walked out of the building, he felt confident. For the first time in a long time, he believed his life was about to change. A week later, an email arrived. His hands trembled as he opened it, but the words shattered him. "We regret to inform you, Daniel had been rejected." His heart sank. He stared at the screen for several minutes. It didn't make sense. He had worked so hard. He had prayed so much. Why would God allow this? That night, Daniel sat alone in his room. He looked toward the ceiling and asked God why. No answer came, only silence. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Daniel applied for more jobs. Rejection. Again and again and again. Each rejection felt heavier than the last. Slowly, doubt entered his heart. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'll never succeed. Maybe God has forgotten me. One afternoon, while walking home, he noticed an old man sitting on a park bench. The old man smiled and invited him to sit. Daniel normally would have refused, but something about the man's calm face made him stop. They talked. After listening to Daniel's frustrations, the old man asked a simple question. If you gave a child everything he wanted immediately, would that always be good for him? Daniel shook his head. Of course not. The old man smiled. Then why do you assume God should? Daniel sat quietly. The old man continued. Sometimes God says yes, sometimes God says wait, and sometimes God says I have something better. Before Daniel could respond, the old man stood up and walked away. But those words stayed in his mind. I have something better. Months later, Daniel received another opportunity. This time, it was not as impressive. The salary was lower. The position seemed ordinary. Many people told him not to take it. But he accepted. He needed experience. So he worked, and worked, and worked. What Daniel didn't know was that this small decision would change everything. At that company, he met people who believed in him. He learned valuable skills. He gained confidence. Most importantly, he met a mentor, someone who saw potential in him long before he saw it in himself. Years passed. Daniel grew professionally. Opportunities started appearing. His career advanced. His income increased. His life improved. Then one day something unexpected happened. News broke that the large company that had rejected him years ago was facing serious problems, massive layoffs, financial struggles. Hundreds of employees lost their jobs. Daniel couldn't believe it. He remembered how desperately he wanted that position, how much he cried after being rejected, how unfair it felt. Yet if he had received that job, he would have been among those laid-off workers. The rejection he hated had actually protected him. For the first time, everything made sense. The closed door was not punishment. It was protection. The delay was not abandonment. It was preparation. The rejection was not the end. It was redirection. Daniel sat quietly that evening and smiled. Tears filled his eyes. Not tears of sadness, tears of gratitude, because he finally understood something most people never realize. God sees the entire road. We only see the next step. We cry over closed doors. God sees dangers behind them. We beg for immediate answers. God sees future consequences. We focus on what we want now. God focuses on what we need later. Years later, Daniel became very successful. People often asked him the secret behind his success. He always gave the same answer. I stopped asking why things happened to me. I started trusting that everything was happening for me. And every time he said those words, he remembered the rejection letter that once broke his heart. The very rejection that led him to a life greater than he ever imagined. When life doesn't go according to your plan, don't assume that God has abandoned you. Sometimes the door that closes is protecting you. Sometimes the delay is preparing you. Sometimes the thing you lost is making room for something far better. Trust God's timing, even when you don't understand it. What feels like a setback today may become the reason you thank God tomorrow. If God is making you wait right now, remember this: a delayed blessing is not a denied blessing. Keep faith, keep moving, and trust that God has a better plan for you. Before you go, if you enjoyed this story and want more inspiring content like this, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. And if you believe God has a purpose for every challenge we face, leave a comment saying, "I trust God's plan."